Let's come to know about one more cell organelle present in the eukaryotic type of the cell, and it is a mitochondrion. Mitochondria is a filamentous or a thread-like granular cytoplasmic organelle found in the plants and animals, especially eukaryotic type of the cell, while this mitochondria is absent in the prokaryotic type of the cell. It is usually distributed uniformly throughout the cytoplasm, and most important function played by the mitochondria is a synthesis of ATP, which is a usable form of chemical energy. Mitochondria are commonly called the powerhouse of the cell, as it produces ATP rich energy. Just see the structure of mitochondrion or ultrastructure of mitochondria. The diameter of mitochondria ranges from 0.5 micron to 2 micron, and length about 3.3 micron to 40 micron. There are different shapes of mitochondria. It may be filamentous, club shape, or hollow. It may be tennis racket shape or rod shape granular organelles. Typical mitochondria is a sausage shape. Under electron microscope, mitochondria shows the parts like mitochondrial membrane, then matrix, and mitochondrial particles, or they are also called as a subunits. Just see the mitochondrial membrane. If you see a typical mitochondria, then this mitochondria shows two unit membrane, the outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay, this one is the outer membrane and inner membrane. So mitochondria is bounded by means of two unit membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane, and both the membranes are typical unit membrane with a thickness of about 60 to 70 angstrom of each membrane. Space between two membrane, that means outer membrane and inner membrane, is called as a outer chamber, or this space is also called as a intermembranous space, or also called as a perimitochondrial space. Space enclosed by the inner membrane. So this is a inner membrane, and the space enclosed by this inner membrane is called as a inner chamber. Okay, or this one is also called as a inner membrane space. As compared to outer chamber, inner chamber or inner membranous space is larger and is filled with gel-like dense granular material, and the gel-like granular material is filled in the region of matrix or within an inner chamber. This inner membrane is not a continuous membrane. It is actually continuous membrane, but this forms in growths on the towards the matrix region. So the inner membrane has a finger-like infolding projecting into the matrix, and these projecting inner membrane are called as cristae. Singularly, they are called as a crista. So these projecting inner membrane are called as a cristae, or they are also called as a mitochondrial crest. Space within each crista is continuous with the outer membrane. This space is continuous with the outer membrane, and this space is called as a intracrystal space. Cristae may form a complex network of branching in the inner chamber. Here this one is the outer membrane, this one is the inner membrane, and this inner membrane forms such a type of a ingrowths. This one is called as a cristae, and this cristae forms the complex network by branching in the inner side. This one is a branching, this is a another branching, this one is again branching, so it forms a complex network, and this provides increased surface area within the mitochondria for various metabolic activities. Okay, then first one is a membrane. Membrane is the outer membrane and inner membrane. The inner membrane encloses the space. That space is called as a matrix, or it is a inner membrane space. So this matrix contains dense proteinaceous material with dense granules. Okay, so this region, this one is a matrix region, and this matrix region contains the dense proteinaceous material with the dense granules, and the diameter of these granules ranges from 300 to 500 angstrom. Actually it is a viscous and semi-solid in nature. Okay, along with these granules there are lipids, then proteins, then 2 to 6 number of circular DNA molecules, 70s type of a ribosomes, tRNA molecules, as well as some inorganic salts which form the granules are also present in the region of a matrix. The most important one, that Krebs cycle, which is present in the respiration, the enzymes essential for the Krebs cycle are present in the region of a matrix. Then next one is a mitochondrial particles, or this one also called as a subunits. So this is a outer membrane, this one is the inner membrane, this is the region of matrix, and this inner membrane projects inward, forming a structure which is called as a cristae. On the cristae you will find the mitochondrial particles. These mitochondrial particles are called as a ETP, or elementary particles, or F1 particles, or also called as a oxysomes. The outer surface of the outer membrane and inner surface of the inner membrane are covered by means of thousands of particles or subunits. The particles present on the outer surface of outer membrane are called as a subunits of Parsons. But recent studies shows that these Stokes subunits which are present on the outer surface of the outer membrane are absent. Okay, the inner surface of inner membrane, that means this is a inner surface, and this of the inner membrane, that means cristae, covered by many small stalked particles. Okay, and these stalked particles are called as elementary particles or electron transport particle, generally ETP, are also called as a F1 particles or oxysomes. F1 particles are placed at a regular distance, about 100 angstrom on the inner surface of the inner membrane. This is a outer membrane, this one is a inner membrane, this is a cristae, and on this cristae such a type of F1 particles are present, and these F1 particles are placed at equidistance from one another, and this space is about 100 angstrom. Each F1 particle or oxisome consists two parts. First one part is called as a head and another one is called as a stalk. This head region have a diameter about 75 to 80 angstrom, while length of the stalk is about 45 to 50 angstrom. This head region is a important one as it contains the enzyme ATPase or ATP synthetase, which is essential for the process of phosphorylation when ADP and inorganic phosphate are present, and in presence of this ATPase enzyme, this ADP is converted into adenosine triphosphate. So these F1 particles are responsible for electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation or respiratory chain. Here this contain ATPase or ATP synthetase. So electron transport system, oxidative phosphorylation, all these are present in the process of respiration. We will see about them in the functions of mitochondria. Next one part is a mitochondrial DNA. So mitochondria is considered as a semi-autonomous organelle of the cell. Like within a cell, nucleus is present. Within the nucleus, one find the DNA. That DNA is called as a nuclear DNA. But within a mitochondria, within a matrix of the mitochondria, some smaller circular DNA are present, and that DNA are called as a mitochondrial DNA, or also called as a mtDNA or mDNA. The number ranges from 1 to 6. These mitochondrial DNA are double-stranded. These are highly twisted. These are circular. The molecular weight of this mtDNA ranges from 9 to 10 million. The mitochondrial matrix also contains the DNA polymerase enzyme, and with the help of this polymerase enzyme, this mitochondrial DNA shows replication in the form of by the semi-conservative method. So mitochondrial DNA ranges from 1 to 6. These are either attached to the inner membrane of this mitochondria, or they are located or suspended in the matrix region. These are double-stranded, highly twisted, circular, with molecular weight of 9 to 10 million. These resemble with the bacterial DNA, which are also circular in nature. These behave like a chromosome, and it replicates by semi-conservative method to form two circular mitochondrial DNA molecules. Mitochondria contain the enzyme DNA polymerase, and with the help of this enzyme, the replication of mitochondrial DNA occurs. Mitochondria are capable of self-replication due to the presence of replicating mitochondrial DNA, and by that mitochondria also transmit the biological information or biological characters to the next generation, thus exhibiting the cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, the DNA present in mitochondria and chloroplast are mitochondria and chloroplast are called as a cytoplasmic DNA. DNA which is present in the mitochondria as well as in chloroplast are called as a cytoplasmic DNA, while the DNA which is present in the nucleus is called as a nuclear DNA. Unlike nuclear DNA, the genetic information transmitted by mitochondrial DNA is not sufficient because mitochondrial DNA codes for some structural proteins. Okay, mitochondrial DNA differ from nuclear DNA in many respects. So this one is a figure of nuclear DNA, and these are the figures of mitochondrial DNA. So mitochondrial DNA differ from nuclear DNA in many respects. Like nuclear DNA, mitochondrial DNA is a double-stranded, but it is a circular, as in bacterial cell. Mitochondrial DNA are shorter than the nuclear DNA, and as they are shorter, they contains few coded information for protein synthesis. Robin Veitch in 1968 says that mitochondrial DNA contain more GC content, guanine and cytosine content, than the nuclear DNA. Melting temperature of mitochondrial DNA is also higher than the nuclear DNA, and this mitochondrial DNA refers faster than the nuclear DNA. Function of mitochondrial DNA is similar to that of the nuclear DNA in the production of rRNA, tRNA, mRNA, and of course proteins. However, the nature of products yielded by both mitochondrial DNA and nuclear DNA are different. Okay, mitochondrial DNA depends on the activity of nuclear DNA for protein synthesis. So the mitochondrial DNA cannot function without nuclear DNA. Then ribosomes, which are present in the mitochondria, they are called as the mitochondrial ribosomes or mitoribosomes. This is eukaryotic ribosome, this one is a prokaryotic ribosome, this one is ETS type, while this one is a 70S type. ETS type of ribosomes are formed by means of two subunits, 60S and 40S, while 50S and 30S subunit forms 70S type of a ribosome. The matrix of the mitochondria contains 70S type of a ribosomes, similar to that of the bacterial ribosome. Mitochondrial ribosomes are called as a mitoribosome, which provide the site for protein synthesis in mitochondria. Many specific mitochondrial proteins like cytochrome C, malate dehydrogenase, ATPase are synthesized on mitochondrial ribosomes. However, most of the structural proteins and enzymes, that means functional proteins, are proteins found in the mitochondria are synthesized by means of the cytoribosomes. Cytoribosomes means the ribosomes which are present in the cytoplasm. Either they are suspended in the cytoplasm, they are present on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or in some cases they are also present on the nuclear membrane. So they are called as a cytoribosomes. So most of the structural proteins and functional proteins found in mitochondria are synthesized by means of the ribosomes which are present in the cytoplasm. Group of many ribosomes are called as a polysome. Mitochondria require higher concentration of Mg++ ions to maintain the integrity of the two subunits in comparison with the cytoplasmic ribosomes. As you know, the cytoplasmic ribosomes contains two subunits. Suppose this one is a 40S subunit and 60S subunit. They require 0.001 molar concentration of the Mg++. Okay, next one is a functions of mitochondria. So most important function of mitochondria is a cell respiration, and due to this function, these mitochondria are called as a powerhouse of the cell. Different kinds of the substrates are present within a cell, and they are broken down, they are oxidized to release energy in the form of ATP in the process of respiration. So within a respiration, respiratory substrate is essential. Respiratory substrate is that substrate or substance which is used to oxidize during the process of respiration. So carbohydrate may be the respiratory substrate, fatty acid may be the respiratory substrate, or proteins or amino acids are also the respiratory substrate, and these substrates are broken down or oxidized during the process of respiration, from which energy is released. And when complete oxidation of this respiratory substrate takes place, it produces H2O and CO2 along with energy. So this energy is stored in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP are energy rich molecule and generated in the mitochondria, and hence mitochondria are called powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria accumulated with ATP move within a cell where energy is needed, and energy released is useful for different metabolic activity. The end product of glycolysis is a pyruvic acid. As you see, the process of respiration shows the parts like glycolysis 1, then Krebs cycle, then ETS or oxidative phosphorylation. So within a glycolysis, 6-carbon glucose is converted into 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, 3-carbon pyruvic acid. The process of glycolysis takes place within a cytosol or within a cytoplasm. So 6-carbon product is broken down into the 3-carbon product during the process of glycolysis. So this product, pyruvic acid, is a end product of a glycolysis. This pyruvic acid undergo complete oxidation in mitochondria to generate ATP molecules. So when pyruvic acids are produced, they are first of all converted into the acetyl coenzyme A. Different factors or cofactors are essential for the formation of a acetyl coenzyme A. It may be the Mg++, then it requires NAD, it requires lipoic acid, it requires coenzyme A, it requires thymine pyrophosphate. Okay, so in presence of Mg++, NAD, lipoic acid, coenzyme, thymine pyrophosphate, this pyruvic acid is converted into the acetyl coenzyme A. And once acetyl coenzyme A is produced, this acetyl coenzyme A enter in the Krebs cycle. So this is a end product of a glycolysis, which is called as a pyruvic acid. This pyruvic acid is converted into the acetyl coenzyme A, and this acetyl coenzyme A enters into the Krebs cycle, where oxaloacetic acid combines with the acetyl coenzyme A and produces the first one product, which is called as a citrate or citric acid. So citric acid, cis-aconitic acid, isocitric acid, alpha-ketoglutaric acid, succinyl coenzyme A, succinic acid, fumaric acid, malic acid, and again oxaloacetic acid is formed. In the process, pyruvic acid is 3-carbon product, acetyl coenzyme A is a 2-carbon product. Here both the carbons are decarboxylated. So 4-carbon oxaloacetic acid combines with 2-carbon acetyl coenzyme A and produces 6-carbon citric acid, and in the Krebs cycle it again produces 4-carbon oxaloacetic acid by the oxidation of a certain substrates present in the Krebs cycle. Okay, so the complete oxidation of a respiratory substrate takes place within a Krebs cycle. Then next one is the ETS, electron transport chain. During the oxidation of the respiratory substrate, it undergo oxidation. The most important one, that dehydrogenase enzyme is get reduced, and this dehydrogenase enzyme consists the coenzyme or prosthetic group, either in the form of NAD, or it is present in the form of NADP, or it is present in the form of FAD. So these coenzymes or prosthetic group undergo reduction. So NAD undergo NADH2, NADP into NADPH2, FAD into FADH2. These reduced coenzymes are again oxidized in the process of electron transport chain. So when this NADPH2 oxidize to NAD, 3 ATP molecules are formed. So this is a ETS cycle. You will see the details of this ETS or Krebs cycle or oxidative phosphorylation in the respiration, whose video will be prepared within a short time. So the end product of glycolysis is the pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid undergo complete oxidation in mitochondria to generate ATP molecule, and complete oxidation of pyruvic acid in mitochondria takes place within 3 steps. First one is a oxidative decarboxylation. Whatever CO2 released in this process is a oxidative decarboxylation. Oxidation of the respiratory substrate. Decarboxylation means evolution of CO2. Then Krebs cycle, and third one is a ETS. This one is nothing but the ETS, and the formation of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate by using oxidative energy is called as a oxidative phosphorylation. Okay, then next one function is the lipid metabolism. Mitochondria is involved in lipid synthesis as well as breakdown of lipid. Okay, so mitochondria are capable to oxidize fatty acids or triglyceride, during which energy is released. That process is called as beta oxidation. When cell is starving, the oxidation of lipid occurs, and which liberate more energy than the carbohydrate. So mitochondria play important role in the synthesis or elongation of a fatty acids. So fatty acid synthesis is a simple process. Acetyl coenzyme A plus glycerol plus NADPH2 is required for the synthesis of fats or triglyceride. Reversal of fatty acid oxidation is a fatty acid synthesis, and breakdown of acetyl coenzyme A from the long chain of fatty acid is called as a oxidation of the fatty acid. This one is a figure of lipid metabolism. So this one is a cytosol or a cytoplasm. Then this one is a mitochondria. Glucose broken down into the pyruvic acid by the process of glycolysis, which occur in the cytosol. Okay, this pyruvic acid enter into the mitochondria, where it is converted to the acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A condenses with oxaloacetic acid and produces citric acid. This citric acid again produces oxaloacetic acid along with acetyl coenzyme A, and this acetyl coenzyme A, glycerol, then NADPH2 again synthesize the lipid. So this is a Krebs cycle which occur in the mitochondria. Okay, so this one is a lipid metabolism. You will see the lipid metabolism in a lecture of a biochemistry. So next one function of a mitochondria is a protein synthesis. Mitochondria is a semi-autonomous cell organelle of the cell. Why it is called as a semi-autonomous cell organelle? Because mitochondria has its own protein synthesizing machinery, as it contains double-stranded circular DNA, 70 S type of the ribosome, rRNA, tRNA, mRNA, DNA polymerase, various amino acids, various enzymes. So it is involved in the protein synthesis. However, the amount of genetic information carried by mitochondrial DNA is not sufficient to synthesize all the protein like the nuclear DNA. But some structural proteins are synthesized under the control of nuclear DNA. Next one is a cytoplasmic inheritance. Mitochondria contain double-stranded circular DNA. It replicates by means of a semi-conservative method to form two circular mitochondrial DNA. Due to the presence of replicating DNA, mitochondria is capable to divide equally into two daughter mitochondria during the cell division. And while passing each daughter cell, the daughter mitochondria carries mitochondrial DNA. Therefore, the characters are inherited in each daughter cell through the mitochondrial DNA, and thus mitochondria play some part in the cytoplasmic inheritance. And last one function played by the mitochondria is a heme synthesis. Heme is nothing but the hemoglobin synthesis. RBC mitochondria and liver cell mitochondria store excess quantity of a substance which is called as a ferritin, and this ferritin is responsible for hemoglobin formation in the developing RBC. So these are the certain functions of mitochondria. I hope you might understood the mitochondria, the mitochondrial membrane, then matrix, and mitochondrial particles are important, and mitochondria play very important role in the respiration and lipid metabolism. As it is involved in the lipid metabolism and process of respiration, ATP are produced, and this ATP is rich in energy, and that's why mitochondria are called as a powerhouse of the cell. So this is about the mitochondria. Next one part we will see in the next one video. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.